Alright, welcome back. Last time we went ahead and attacked Wallachia, and to a lesser extent Serbia, in order to get Bulgaria, all of the Bulgarian provinces in the game. At least as far as I'm aware. Yeah, looks right, okay. Went ahead and got the last Moldavian province, or the single Moldavian province that Wallachia had, as well as two of their coastal provinces. They still own this Greek province right here, but I don't want it. I just need Bulgaria as a big buffer state to stop the Ottomans from expanding too far. Additionally, we also started integration of the Commonwealth. Expected time to finish, 1918. Yeah. Which is why my current efforts, planned efforts, are to collect up a bunch of diplo points. As many as I can manage while still doing all this. And then going down diplomatic to get this lower diplomatic annexation cost, as well as the improved diplomatic reputation. My heir will definitely have much better diplomatic skill than the Queen Regent, at least. I also am going to go ahead. I was about to say swap to a 3 skill, but I need someone with different stuff, with different benefits than that. Alright, social contract. I read this before, probably. Yeah, didn't that game crash? Anyway, I'll just read it again. Jean-Jacques Rousseau published his book On the Social Contract in 1762. It rejected the idea that rulers were divinely appointed, and instead argued that only the people had the right to make laws. People gave up freedom when they made laws, and so chose the laws they wanted to live with in a kind of social contract. This idea was revolutionary, and led many to consider reforming the government. I get 2 extra states. Next tech, steam-powered factories. What? I didn't know this event still existed in M&T. Oh hey, Ottomans. Finally got the stretchy name by annexing Athens. Anyway. Peasants' Republic dictatorship. Landowner voting rights. I can either lose all my stability or lose 100 admin points, and... Huh. Okay, you've got the Peasants' Republic reform, right? Okay. I don't like the reduction max centralization. Isn't there a government type map mode? It's probably political action. There it is. Free subject voting rights. Well-spaced. Well-spaced. Trade republics. Switzerland's a trade republic. Okay then. This probably reformed out of tribalism. Okay. Grand Republic, that's probably Trade Republic. Checks and balances. Doesn't even have that 3rd reform yet. Okay, I actually have no idea what the reforms do. Dictatorship plus national unrest minus power costs plus maximum centralization. Landowner voting rights, so that's not there. Okay. Assembly. There. Reduce state minimums, reduce corporation cost. I might actually do this. Sure. Diplomat. Hopeless spender. Lost the effects of counter-revolution. Oh, great, internal conflicts. The level of stability. Okay. Well, now that a prestige gain is no longer an issue, I can just do this, and yeah, I have enough stat points saved up to go up a level. It's gonna take a little while before I get to above, get to 0 again. I can't centralize any further, nor do I want to, so I'm gonna take this off. I get some minor state reforms in. My territories have not been affected. I'm going to lose centralization pretty quickly, comparatively, but... National unrest. Okay, monthly autonomy change. Ooh. Stability increase interval. The level of centralization lowers Republican tradition. The arts, greatness, power projection, culture level, negative stability. How frequently are elections? Every 12 years. Let me check my government reforms so I can actually see. Trade republic, free city, city-state, oligarchy, dictatorship, assembly. Checks and balances. That level of monthly autonomy change I do not like. This assembly actually isn't bad. Term duration 6 isn't great. And the loss of minus 10% to all power costs is going to be costly. I'm going to wait until I grab conscription and commission of national education. Then I'll go, after I grab those two, I'm going to swap to assembly. It will shorten term duration so I can elect faster. It will also give me plus 0.8 Republican tradition. And make it so that stability, yeah, I'm going to get an extra 15 stat points. I will lose 15 centralization, because that's going to just raise unrest. Unrest is not good at the moment. Wealth-based. Free subject. I'm not going to touch this. There's just not enough benefits. I still maintain personal union, though, because reasons. Yeah, when you reform government types, even if it no longer makes sense, you still maintain all subjects. And of course, the personal unions are included as all subjects. I don't know, how I figure it at the moment is that it's sort of similar to the system of what occurred with the shogunate, rather than, well, actually overthrowing the Tsar. There's just so much bureaucracy that the Tsar no longer has any control. It's become more of a constitutional monarchy than anything, with the Tsar having zero control. And the Prime Minister, whoever they may be, having all the power. Still dictatorial, and a monarchy at the same time. Of course, I do admit I personally feel that the dictatorship itself is only going to be temporary. I needed to get tech level. That's all. Right. Commission of National Education. In 1773, the Russian Tsar created the Commission of National Education, becoming the first Ministry of Education. Its task was to standardize education across the empire, helping to establish a unified culture. Right. Steam. Go. Of course, most expensive problems is first. I only had enough for, what, 4 factories? Yeah, it's bad. In how expensive it all is. Yeah, this is a weird... I figure that's... At least how I would like to tell a story. It's sort of somewhere between a constitutional monarchy and a dictatorship. Right, conscription. Let's swap before my... Okay, let's get the new... Impulse infantry. Field howitzers. Right, let's swap to an assembly. Right, this definitely will help with stability. Especially since although these are already pretty bad for it. None of these will help with stability, so that's to cost 10 corruption. It also is going to lower my centralization by 15. Which is not good. I will have trouble trying to get everything under control again. Ten Republican tradition. I need that. Nope. Okay. Because I'll have to take loans. Because I'm not losing stability. I refuse to lose stability, unless there is no other choice. Okay, I've got maxed out army fruition, so I can actually just cut some of it out. And artist would not be a bad idea. An extra stat point per year would be nice. I'm not giving corruption that now. No. It's tax holiday and foreign coin, I just love inflation. Yeah, fine. I finally hit 0 stab. Oh. We've recovered. Somewhat. Still have to deal with the fact that every one of my major cities now has 2.5% autonomy at the minimum, and 5% higher up resting autonomy. Not to mention all the other things that I've done that have changed my resting autonomy. I'll have to take a nice long look to see. Government type actually hasn't changed anything. Since my second and third reform, my second reform had plus 10% resting autonomy, and my third had minus 10%. So I really don't have anything that affects that, except for the centralization changes. Which resulted in my centralization hitting closer to 6, is at 60 now. What's funny is that I'm still highly aristocratic, despite being a republic. Well, I say despite. Early republics were entirely aristocratic anyway. As well as republics in the EU4 time frame in general. That should be a good time to stop here. Oh then, so, recap of everything. Portuguese Peru. Or at the very least I discovered it. Scottish Louisiana. Once Canada seems to be expanding into the continent itself. Dutch Senegal. I say still wasn't. Yep. I haven't actually checked on the spread of. This is the wrong button. Enlightenment yet. Okay, it's through almost all of India as well as most of Persia. It's reached Anatolia and is starting to spread over to Constantinople. It's also beginning to reach China. Hasn't really reached it yet, really. It's entered the Shan states. Man, Persia's the place to be at the moment, at least institution-wise. So. Someone colonizing over here. Oh, England's colonized Taiwan. Lovely. Oh, there seems to be a massive war going on between Zhao and Ming. War of Chinese unification. Yeah. It's been a news just since I'm starting with external stuff. Oh yeah, there's also a war with the Ottomans managed to unify basically all the Greek provinces. There's still a couple left, but they're minuscule. Venice no longer exists. So the Canaries are independent. With Venetian primary culture. And colonizing La Plata. Yeah. Right, back to my own stuff. Yeah. So, the bureaucratic despotism event. It's still an M&T. I went ahead and took it. Of course, the dictatorship reform was actually pretty bad, which it really lowered the Republican tradition and raised out national unrest. Maximum centralization and reduced power costs was kind of nice, but no, I prefer the assembly reform. Makes stability a lot easier to get, raises yearly Republican tradition. Sure, it lowers maximum centralization, but at least it doesn't raise autonomy like checks and balances does. And also, it's an even worse centralization penalty. Or do what oligarchy does and raises corruption by a ridiculous amount. Ugh. Yuck. I could change voting rights, but I really don't think that's a good idea. Landowner voting rights aren't bad. Wealth base doesn't look great. Noble, don't need. My army's big enough as it is. And I don't like the raising autonomy of free subject. I can't change peasants republic. There is one negative side effect, though. Diplomatic reputation suffered a massive hit. So I definitely am going to need diplomatic ideas. However, because of that, there is the slight benefit of the fact that I'm now getting much more diplomatic power. So I should be able to rush down diplomatic ideas much more quickly. I am, however, planning to wait until either I literally cannot store any more diplomatic power, because I do want to get corruption down as much as possible. Once it's gotten to the point where it's not going to lower on its own naturally, yeah. Definitely going to take romanticism and then buy up as much diplomatic ideas as I can. I do plan on eventually doing this, but that costs a lot of money, so not right now. I'm gonna wait until this has at minus 0.5 per year, just to maximize, just to get it when it's pretty useful. I'm also going to continue building up steam power factories now that I've unlocked them. Anyway, I'll see you again next time. This has been a wild ride recently. Until then, bye.